Welcome back to my channel. As you can see on the table, we got some Banks stuff that just came in yesterday. And you might have saw the little clickbait thumbnail, why Dave's Auto Center cost me thousands. This is the thousands right here. And basically, I started watching Dave's Auto Center a couple months ago. I never even heard of it before. They have a YouTube channel, Dave's Auto Center. And basically, I had no idea about. So I have a 2016 Dodge 2500 with a 6.7 liter Cummins diesel, and I had no idea that this particular motor had a grid heater that could cause catastrophic failure. And you know, during the process of watching a lot of Dave's Auto Center videos, all the guys down there at he's up in Utah, but all the guys in his shop are really good, good mechanics, and they seem to do a really good job. And anyway, I found out about this grid heater, and I was watching one of his videos about the catastrophic failure of this little bolt that falls down, goes into the number 6 cylinder, and just kills your motor. So I decided, I love my truck, and my truck has a lot of miles on it, 186,000 miles. And I decided that, well, I didn't really want to take a chance. I needed to do something about that grid heater bolt because it really made me nervous. It kind of made me nervous about it. So maybe that's just a sales technique that everybody has, but I did a lot of research, and it is true that a lot of people have had that grid heater bolt go into number 6 and ruin their motor. And these motors, you can get 500,000 miles out of these motors, and that's my intent, is to get a lot more mileage out of these motors. So in watching his video, basically, I ended up spending thousands of dollars on Banks. I basically got two things. I got the Banks Monster Ram, and I also decided to get the two. I figured I'm gonna be in there. I got it all apart. I'll get these boost tubes that allow for better airflow. I've kind of been having trouble with my turbo. It comes on strong, but I have a feeling that my actuator in my turbo, I have a feeling that that turbo after 200,000 miles is getting a little bit gummed up in there. And eventually I'm going to do something about that too. But for now, getting rid of that grid heater is my top concern. So we're going to do an unboxing right now and see what's in this Banks stuff. I never even heard of Banks either before I watched Dave's Auto Center. And the more research I started doing on Banks, shit, a lot of people have upgraded their trucks with Banks products, and they've been around a long time. And I even went to some Banks videos, and they seem to really engineer good quality stuff. And you can get a cheaper way to get rid of that grid heater. They do make some cheaper alternatives. I happened to grab this when it was on sale. So both the tubes and the Banks system. So I did get a little bit of it. Got his signature up here, Dale Banks. I think it says Dale Banks. Dale Banks. But yeah, it still costs thousands. But anyway, let's do an unboxing, see what we got, and then what I want to do is, I'm not a mechanic by trade. I built houses. That's what I did, and when it comes to working with my hands, I don't really have a problem with that. But we're going to see. We're going to time how long does it take to put in this Banks Monster Ram, and then how long it takes to put in the boost tubes. And we'll see if a rookie like me can do it and how long it takes. And now, I did look at a lot of videos about, once I was convinced from Dave's Auto Center to do this this Banks Monster Ram. I did research a lot of videos how to install this Banks Monster Ram. And the best video, a really like step-by-step video showing you every nut and bolt of the whole thing, was Thoroughbred Diesel. And I wanted to give a shout out to him because his videos are really intuitive. He takes you step by step, every little thing. And that's actually what I'm gonna use that guy's video, Thoroughbred Diesel, to install both these. And let's go ahead and get with the unboxing. We'll see how long it takes to do this. And we'll start off with this box here and just see what's in it. I think one of the keys to really having a successful install is just keep yourself clean and organized, and then follow all the instructions. You don't want any contaminants getting in any of your stuff. Okay, this is the Monster Ram. We're going to lay out all the components of this. This is going to be the first thing I install. So here you got a Monster Ram. Nice billet aluminum. Here it looks like a fuel line. Looks like a electrical adapter. You get a Banks license plate, some bolts, looks like a few more adapters, gasket, the main plate, and your inlet. I'm not sure why it has this little piece here, but we'll check that out. Nice gasket. Instructions and register your product. Install guide. Here's the aluminum plate. And thank God that's it for that one. Now this actually has a dual heater, and it looks like, so here's all the plastic caps for your manifold. Let's open up this one right here. And here's your heater core. So you still need a heater, a grid heater, but the way they do this is they bring it in from here, from the top, so it has no way to get down in there. And there is some special instructions on bolting your top piece to this, and we're going to follow them exactly. So this is all your stuff for your grid heater. And we're going to take a look at these instructions. So the instructions are online. So you got to basically, got a bolt right there for something. Don't want to lose any of these bolts. Okay, we're going to start off installing this grid heater. Once we get this done, then we'll come back and open up the boost tube box. The boost tube box is basically just some boost tubes and but we'll do an opening of this and an installation of this. But our first install is going to be this. So let's get started. We'll go check out this little installation guide on their website and see what it looks like. Okay, here's the website that off that scanned code, off what they gave me in the box. So it says here, this Monster Ram, it says 2007 to 2012, but when you look on this flyer that they got, it says 2013 and 2013 to 2018 Dodge Ram 6.7. So this must be for mine too. So you can see everything that comes in the kit. And they say to make sure and look at all your stuff and make sure you have everything there. I didn't see that washer there, but I'm going to go look. Now, you just go through here. Now, here's a installation video. I didn't know they had this.
Thank you for purchasing a Banks Monster Ram intake system for your 2013 to 2018 Ram 6.7 liter.
Okay, so I won't play that whole video, but I am gonna leave this open on my computer and come back and reference it when I come to any, if I'm stuck on anything. And I'm also going to be watching the video from Thoroughbred Diesel, his YouTube video, because he does a pretty nice job. Now here's an important note. Coil heater preparation, the lower nut, I did see this, must remain 1/8 inch above the coil heater body, about 2 threads visible. Take care when installing it. OEM heater wire ring terminal, it must be sandwiched between the upper and lower nut. If the lower nut, it will short out. When tightening the nut, it is important to back up using 10mm wrench, 8mm open. So they go through, they really do a good job prepping you for this. Disconnect back. So here's a full start to this whole thing. Disconnect your batteries, one on each side of engine bay. It kind of tells you everything. It's almost like a complete idiot little handbook. So it's good for me, I guess. Remove engine cover. Now there's a lot of stuff on here I don't have to do because my particular Dodge has been deleted. So I don't have any EGR on there anymore. There's a lot of stuff that I do not have on here anymore. Anyway, this is what I'm going to use to go right through the whole thing and install this, plus watch the videos from Thoroughbred Diesel. And let's see how long it takes a rookie like me to get this all installed. Let's get started. Okay, Thoroughbred Diesel, their YouTube channel, he says it takes 6 hours to do this job, to put on this Banks Monster Ram. And he also says the difficulty rating 1 out of 10 is a number 6, and I would definitely agree with that. It's especially the back, when you have to get to the back of this motor, it's always hard, anything you do back there. But we're gonna, I'm not gonna make a 6-hour video. We're gonna make this as quick as possible. And I would have to say the YouTube channel from Thoroughbred Diesel was really, really good. And if you're doing this job, I would definitely consider watching his video. All right, we finally got the grid heater off, and I thought here's all the stuff that we've taken off. We've got our old intake taken off, the fuel rail, all your fuel lines. And I thought I'd show you. So this is the infamous grid heater right here. And it's basically under this plate, this bunch of junk right there. I'm definitely going to vacuum that out really good. But this is right here, if you can see that, this is your fuel heater, or your grid heater. And on top of it, you can see, this is where the power comes in right here. And the power comes in here, goes through this bolt, and then it heats up this element right here. And actually it heats up I think it heats up these fins right in here too. Matter of fact, yeah, I know it does. But for some reason, this bolt right here gets corroded and then falls off and goes into your number 6 piston. But I don't know, like when I look at this, it looks pretty solid. It doesn't look bad. I don't know if it would ever, but you worry about that. And I've seen some pictures where this thing, I guess if it gets loose, if this gets loose, it starts arcing, and then it basically melts this thing, and then a piece of it falls off into your motor. But I didn't want to take any chances, so we're going to take this off. Next step, we're going to go through, we're going to get everything cleaned up, and then get ready to install this new monster bank, or this Banks Monster Ram. Anyway, not so bad so far. The back bolts are a little tough. The fuel rail bolts were pretty damn tight, but I guess you don't want any fuel leaks. And anyway, yeah, we'll get this cleaned up and we'll get started putting this in. One thing I realized right away was being extremely clean was going to be a huge benefit to me on this particular project. You know, this is the intake side. It's the cold side, but it's the intake side. And basically this is the air and everything that, you know, this is going into your pistons prior to going out the exhaust. And I didn't want anything falling in this thing. And I did spend a lot of time cleaning up the surface and getting it ready for the new Monster Ram and making sure that, you know, nothing fell into this little area. Okay, one thing I noticed in Thoroughbred Diesel's video was the plate that he got with his kit didn't have these risers on it. So the new Banks kit, it's all billet and it comes with the risers already built in. So if you watch Thoroughbred Diesel's video, he's going to have a flat plate where he explains it to you, where he sets these risers where they go, where the fuel reel sets on there. But luckily we have one that's exactly like the old one. Now, one thing we need to do is we need to transfer this sensor over to this spot right here before we can get it in there. And let's see, I think it's a 1 inch. Yeah, it's a 1 inch wrench. We're gonna need to get some leverage on this. There we go. And you want to always be careful with these kind of fittings right here. I mean, these sensors and stuff can be really expensive. And that's all we need off of this one. We'll set that off to the side. And I don't know if, it looks like it's got quite a bit of corrosion on there. I'm kind of skeptical about doing anything to it, but I wouldn't mind just knocking off some of that. I do not want to accidentally break this. A lot of this stuff that's, you know, 100,000 miles, it's exactly that. You know, this one's 186,000 miles. So we're going to get this out of the bag. This is pretty exciting. We got the truck kind of ready to go, and the truck's all pretty cleaned up, and we basically are on the home stretch of putting this back together. So we want to make sure this washer is still there, and basically we're going to thread this back in here. You don't need to get crazy with it. You just need to get it snugged down pretty. Just snug it down. I think that's good. Okay, this plate is ready to go in. So we got everything cleaned up in there, and I'm going to kind of check. I'm not sure if this goes a certain direction. But when I'm looking at it, when I'm looking at this from the bottom, obviously we're going to use a new gasket, but it doesn't look like it matters which way it goes. I could be wrong, let me know in the comments, but it looks like they line up no matter what. So we'll kind of check Thoroughbred Diesel's thing and see if there's any kind of direction for that, and then we'll get this thing put in. Getting the plate installed was really easy. I just had everything nice and clean. I figured out which direction the gasket went, and I basically used some blue Loctite and torqued all the bolts down to, I believe it was 18 or 20 pounds. And I just followed Thoroughbred's YouTube channel, and he walks you step by step which bolts to put in first. And of course, in my case, like I said, the plate was a little different than his plate. So this plate, the new upgraded plate from Banks, is a little nicer, a little less parts, because the parts are built into the plate as far as those risers. but it was basically it was just step by step, just follow the instructions. And I think this is called a throttle body right here. I cleaned this up really good. It was pretty gunked up, but I took it and cleaned it up, and basically I got the gasket off, cleaned off the surface, and then basically installed it on. I installed almost everything onto the Monster Ram before even putting it in. Since I didn't have all that EGR bullshit, I didn't have as much stuff to deal with as Thoroughbred Diesel did. They had to put on the whole EGR, and I didn't have to do that. So I basically got the throttle body all torqued down, got that installed. I put the blank plate over where the EGR used to go. I got that all transferred over and bolted on and torqued down. And then there was a lot of plugs. I guess you could put all kinds of stuff in these plugs. But in my case, I didn't have any of those things. So I basically used almost all the plugs they gave me and plugged all those holes. Now, one thing I noticed about the Monster Ram compared to the other one is if you look at the one sitting there on the bench right there, it has no, the airflow is extremely different. I mean, this Monster Ram, you could tell even passing through the plate, you're basically removing that grid heater from that airflow area, and you're getting a huge amount of air into your motor compared to that stock intake. So I think just the airflow alone could be worth it. So I don't know if it is or not. I'll notice it probably driving, hopefully, and fuel mileage and stuff like that. But yeah, right here I'm getting all these plugs put in, just getting it ready to go. And at this point, it's pretty much I think it's just about ready to go in. Probably my scariest part was when I had the magnet and I had to basically start a bolt through the heater, the grid heater hole, and start it down inside this Monster Ram, because it was really hard to see through that hole to to your starting point. And I was using a magnet that, I don't know, I thought it could have been a stronger magnet, and but it did work. And they do provide you with some Allen head stock that actually fits down through there, and I did use that. And so right there, I've got the Allen head stock sitting in the bolt, and then I'm able to tighten it down there. And then, of course, I can put a torque wrench on that and torque it down to whatever spec it was. I believe it was actually 20 pounds also, 18 or 20 pounds. Anyway, yeah, right here I'm torquing all the bolts down, and that was the scariest part, but it did turn out, and it did go okay.
Okay, we'll call that Monster Banks Monster Ram install is done. Now we still haven't put the heat shield on, and the reason I left that off, it's only two bolts, is because I'm gonna basically clean up all my mess, and tomorrow I'm gonna come back and put these 2 boost tubes in, and that should be a challenge too. And I'm leaving this is the heat wire for the for your grid heater up here, but I'm gonna leave that off because Banks, because I live up in the mountains in Colorado, I ordered a dual heater kit, and they didn't send that with this, but it's gonna come in the next day. So I'm just gonna hold off on putting this on. So tomorrow, it's, I don't know how long it took to do this. I'll have to look at the video and see how long it took. But tomorrow we'll do the boost tubes, and then wait for a few parts to come in, and then we'll be done. It was a challenge to put this in. All the instructions were really good though, both from Thoroughbred Diesel and also from Banks. They were both extremely detailed and really good. So looks pretty cool in there, red. I'll have to put a little wax on it before I'm all done. Anyway, thanks, and we'll be back tomorrow and get these boost tubes done. Okay, here we go. Day 2. We're going to get these boost tubes installed. Let's open these up, see what they look like. Looks like a lot of clamps. Quite a few clamps. Another license plate frame. And a QR code for installation instructions. And well, I guess his name is Gale Banks, not Dale Banks. So it's Gale Banks. And that's it in the box. Let's take a look at these. What's kind of sad is these things are really nice looking, but you don't really, by the time you're not going to really see these. Okay, these look pretty good. So let's check these against this. Now, since I was already putting in this Banks Monster Ram, and it's on the cold side, I had already taken this one out, and it was a bitch to get out. Matter of fact, the top tube wasn't bad. This is the one that's connected to the original intake, your stock intake, but this bottom one was really hard to get to. And I think for installation, I'm actually going to take out that inner liner, because there's no way to get to this hose clamp. It's really hard to get to. And I spent at least an hour getting this hose clamp off from underneath the truck. And I don't really want to do that again. Now look at the difference. Look at the difference in airflow right there. So you got, you're coming out of your intake and it's getting reduced before it goes to the turbo through the air cooler. So this is a big difference in diameter. I mean, you got at least an inch bigger diameter, and I believe this is the one for this one, is it? Yeah, it must be, huh? Yeah. So this is the cold side, and this is going to be the hot side, I believe. Don't know which side goes to the turbo. It feels like it's got a little different bend to it. I'll have to read the instructions and see, take a look at the instructions. Anyway, got some really nice clamps. A few different, now I know you have to, I know on the hot side, I haven't relocated, I'm gonna relocate my oil filter eventually, but I know on the hot side, which I believe is this tube, you have to make sure and cock it a certain way, otherwise you won't be able to get your oil filter out of there. So we'll go, I'm going to take a look at the instructions really quick, and got a lot of nice clamps here. Good looking clamps. They look about the same as here's the stock ones.
They're pretty much the same as the stock ones, the clamps. But this rubber looks a little beefier. Got some Banks logos on them. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm not gonna do it. We're just gonna get this in and get this thing done. But I will tell you that they're not as easy as I thought they would be to get these in. So it is a little tricky to get them in. I'm gonna take a look at their QR code just to see what it says, and then we'll get this job done. Okay, right off the bat, I removed the tires. I got 37-inch tires and the inner fender well to basically work on this thing. And both sides were pretty hard. I spent all day, well, not all day. I calculated out that I spent about 5 hours putting each of these in. And I see some guys' video, they say, oh yeah, we did this side in 30 minutes and that side. And it took me a good 5 hours. And I was pretty meticulous about making sure the hose clamps weren't cockeyed and torqued each one of them down. And it came out really well. But it was definitely not an easy job. Okay, conclusion. Would I do it again? I guess I would. I think if you can afford, I think if you have a lot, now I'm retired, you know, I do have money, but I don't necessarily, I'm pretty conservative. Like if I can do the job, I'll take my time and do the job. But if you have money and you're not, and you know, you might not have a shop load of tools and stuff, I would pay someone to do this job. It was a hard job, and it definitely tested me the last couple of days. Matter of fact, I'm pretty happy tomorrow I'm gonna go fishing because I'm tired of working on this truck. But it did come out really nice. I'm very happy I did it. You know, the airflow, look at see how restricted that is? And the plate is actually like a lot bigger than that. And then also this plate, so not only do you have this intake, which is very restrictive inside there, I mean, the difference in size of this thing compared to that monster Ram, and then it has to go through this grid heater. So your air, I think, you know, even though my grid heater still looks pretty solid, like it doesn't look like it's about to break or anything. Just for the airflow, I actually think it was worth it. And then if you look at these boost tubes, look at this shitty thing. So the boost tubes are about 1 inch in diameter bigger. These ones are about 3 inches, and I'd have to check my tape measure, but I put them side by side, and the Banks boost tubes were 1 inch diameter bigger. But look at this passenger side. They just took a hammer, and this is from the factory. The factory actually did that. They basically, they have this pipe, and it kind of comes close, I think, to the, I don't know why they did this. I think it's the air box for your air filter. But they just smashed that down so that air box would fit in there. And of course, that took another inch out of there. So this particular side, which is this is the hot side, it's reduced down to like 2.5 inches maybe of airflow. And that's what's going to your turbo. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, would I do it again? Definitely. I would do this just for the airflow. And obviously, peace of mind for this grid heater. The grid heater is what got me to do it. But after seeing the pipes and the restriction in this stock intake, I'm really happy I did it for the airflow. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember, the how-to video. If you're gonna try this yourself, it is a hard job, but if you follow Thoroughbred Diesel their YouTube channel, their how to do this. They're really good. Really, I mean, step by step, every little bolt. They even tell you the torques as you're going, and also you can refer to the bank's their QR code for the installation of this. Yeah, I'm real happy I did it, but it was tough. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video. I'll see you next time. Later.